Hey guys, thank you for watching the SlatRock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Today we present you with the top 10 WWE stars who were bullied out of the company. Number 10. Daniel PUDER. The Tough Enough competition has provided some of WWE's next top stars, including Maven, Ryback, and The Miz, but few winners have done well. One winner who amounted to very little is 2004's Daniel PUDER, who defeated the future WWE A-lister in the finals, but ticked off a lot of superstars along the way. On the November 4th episode of SmackDown, Kurt Angle challenged contestant Chris Noraki to an amateur-style match, and after defeating Noraki, breaking his ribs in the process, the Olympian was challenged by PUDER. Putting his MMA experience to use, PUDER caught Angle in a key lock, a hold that would have broken the former WWE champion's arm if referee Jimmy Korderas hadn't fast-counted PUDER's shoulders to the mat. Trying to make a name for himself quickly made PUDER one of the most hated men in WWE, and despite winning the competition, was not booked well. Appearing in the 2005 Royal Rumble, PUDER was subjected to very stiff chops from Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and Hardcore Holly before his elimination. Spending his one-year contract in OVW, PUDER rejected a lowball offer to move to Deep South Wrestling and ended his WWE career. Number 9. Ivelisse Velez. Now a star of Lucha Underground, Ivelisse Velez is another tough enough star to not make it in WWE. However, this wasn't her fault, and she certainly can't be blamed for having a bad attitude. Instead, Velez only spent a year in developmental before being released, though revealed the controversy behind her release in a 2015 interview. In said interview, Velez claimed that WWE trainer Bill DeMott was the reason for her release after she spoke up against the former WWE star's bullying ways. DeMott, who resigned from WWE in March 2015, reportedly used sexist, racist, and homophobic slurs as part of his so-called training, and the former Hugh Morris also allegedly promoted a culture of sexual harassment and was physically abusive to the rookies. While these allegations were nothing new, and had even led to DeMott getting fired from WWE in 2007 before being rehired in 2011, Velez wasn't the only superstar to speak up against DeMott, who to this day continues to deny any wrongdoing. While this was a huge victory for Velez as well as other countless superstars, we do have to wonder just how far her career in WWE could have gone if WWE had taken action sooner. Number 8. Vader. Standing 6'11" and weighing nearly 500 pounds, it's hard to imagine that anyone could push around Big Van Vader. One of the most respected stars from his time in Japan, Vader hoped to be a big star in WWE, though things quickly went south. Entering his first feud with then WWE champion Shawn Michaels, the pair were set to face off for the title at SummerSlam 1996. Michaels, who was at his most petty, was no fan of Vader and berated the super heavyweight backstage, telling Vader he could get him fired at any time and would if he was too stiff in the ring. Brought to tears by HBK, Vader's time got worse, as it became clear that he was not going to become the company's next monster heel. Instead, Vader was forced to refer to himself as a fat piece of you-know-what on Raw by the writers, and even Vince McMahon joined in, complaining about his employees' odor during a live AOL chat. Leaving the WWF in 1998, Vader thankfully found himself back in Japan, where he once again proved his greatness. Number 7. Palmer Cannon. After 3 years on the indie scene and time in Deep South Wrestling, Palmer Cannon was called up to SmackDown in 2005 as a representative from the network. WWE's parody of UPN, who they felt were interfering too much in WWE programming, Cannon was often at odds with then General Manager Teddy Long, with Cannon often going behind the Hall of Famer's back. While an entertaining gimmick, Cannon's time on WWE TV would only last a few months, as fans would never see the man compete in a match. During an Italian stop on a European tour, Cannon quit the company, flying home with a different airline than the rest of the superstars and leaving only his wrestling gear behind. Cannon's abrupt departure was down to bullying he suffered at the hands of John Bradshaw Layfield and Chris Benoit, with Mr. Kennedy, who had only just debuted on SmackDown, later revealing that the two world champions felt no remorse at ending Cannon's career with their bullying, with the Wolverine seemingly taking Cannon's presence on SmackDown as an insult. While WWE tried many times to renegotiate a deal with Cannon, he refused to return or even speak to any representatives from the company ever again. Number 6. SABLE. The original diva, it's hard to express just how over SABLE was with fans during the Attitude Era. One of the biggest stars of that time, SABLE's 1999 Playboy magazine went on to become one of the best-selling issues ever, at a time where wrestling was at its most popular in the mainstream. Not long after her issue was published, SABLE abruptly left WWE and filed a lawsuit against them for over $100 million. Alleging that she was subjected to sexual harassment and unsafe working conditions, the future Mrs. Lesnar claimed that she was demanded to appear topless on TV, and that male superstars would spy on the women, either by accidentally walking into the female locker room or by cutting holes in the walls. These claims seemed a lot more believable after Sean Waltman admitted to putting feces in SABLE's bag, though she and WWE would settle for an undisclosed amount out of court. Returning to WWE years later, SABLE would once again pose for Playboy with the company and hopefully had a better experience with the company the second time around. Number 5. RENE DUPREE. In 2003, RENE DUPREE made history as the youngest man to ever win a championship at WWE, aged just 19 years old, a record that he would hold for 15 years before being beaten by 10-year-old Nicholas. But despite winning the World Tag Team Championships with La Resistance as a teenager, this was not the start of a long, fruitful WWE career. While the young man's battle with addiction did harm his career, it was ultimately bullying, led by the notorious bully JBL, that caused him to exit the WWE. Berated by the Texan with homophobic slurs, DUPREE would also have his wrestling gear destroyed and the French flag he used shoved in the toilet. Hardcore Holly also victimized DUPREE after a confusion with a car rental led to a traffic ticket meant for DUPREE ending up in Holly's name. Settling this in the ring, Holly battered the young superstar at a house show in Syracuse, which included several unprotected chair shots to DUPREE's head. With friends in the right places, Holly received no punishment for his actions, as The Undertaker defended it, and DUPREE left the company in 2007, miserable and after reportedly suffering dozens of concussions. Number 4. Amy Weber. Amy Weber's time with WWE may have been unremarkable, but her departure from the company was anything but. Coming in 4th place in the 2004 Diva Search, Weber was later signed and joined SmackDown, where she could have had a good career in the right environment. The problem was that she wasn't in the right environment after being assigned to the cabinet of JBL. A known bully, Bradshaw made her life miserable, with a tour overseas being the final straw. During this tour, a group of wrestlers, including JBL, began circulating flyers for a strip club Weber had reportedly appeared at, in what was nothing more than vicious hazing. Though JBL allegedly apologized for this clear, unprofessional conduct, things got worse for Weber, as she suffered an injury overseas, making many in the locker room feel she was weak, despite them all having their own injuries in the past. Flying from Japan to Alaska, Weber was in so much pain that she laid across empty seats, which was fine as there were plenty spare. While relaxing and trying to nurse her injury, though, a group of unnamed wrestlers poured an unidentifiable liquid on her, prompting Weber to leave the company for good. Number 3. Jim Ross. There has sadly been plenty of bullying in WWE behind the scenes, but few stars have been bullied as much on-screen as Jim Ross. A true legend of the industry, it's amazing that good old JR remained so loyal to the company after being treated so poorly by the chairman himself. Among the long list of mistreatments of the Oklahoma native, McMahon mocked Ross's Bell's palsy attack on TV and inducted JR into the Kiss My Ass Club in his hometown of Oklahoma City. Even when Ross wasn't present on Raw, this didn't stop the chairman, who embarrassed the iconic commentator with the infamous Dr. Heine sketch not long after JR underwent surgery for colon cancer. In 2012, JR's career with WWE came to an end after he was blamed for the behavior of Ric Flair, who appeared drunk during a WWE 2K13 panel Ross was moderating. While his departure was spun as a retirement by the company and JR has made the odd return for big shows, fans can't help but wonder just how loyal the man can be to a company that mocked him, his health, and his life for years. Number 2. The Hart Foundation. While this wasn't necessarily bullying by the WWE, the treatment of the Hart Foundation in 1997 showed just how little the company valued their employees. In the fallout of the Montreal Screwjob, everyone was worried. Bret Hart had been screwed over by Vince McMahon after years of dedicated service, something that clearly ticked off the remaining foundation. Feeling powerless and expendable because of this, Owen Hart, the British Bulldog, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart all requested the releases, no doubt hoping to jump to WCW to reunite with the Hitman. Things didn't quite pan out as planned, as while Bulldog was allowed to leave, Neidhart only got to leave after being embarrassed by DX on Raw, the same DX that had been victors in the Montreal Screwjob. This left Owen, the youngest of the group, on his own, and despite requesting his release, had it denied every time. Now on his own, the Blackheart tried to make the best of the situation, though fans couldn't help but be reminded of the 1997 Survivor Series whenever he appeared on TV before his tragic, untimely death at Over the Edge 1999. Number 1. Mauro Ranallo. While past infractions of JBL's bullying on the list happened a long time ago, the former WWE champion proved how little he had changed in 2017. Shortly before WrestleMania 33, Bradshaw's commentary partner Mauro Ranallo had left his post behind the commentary desk, citing symptoms of his lifelong battle with bipolar disorder. Not long after, though, news emerged of harassment from JBL that contributed to Ranallo's relapse, with Mauro's friend Bas Rutten practically confirming the allegations on Twitter. The final straw came when JBL chastised Ranallo for acknowledging his Best TV Announcer award from the Wrestling Observer, an award that any will tell you Ranallo deserved. Fortunately, the WWE Universe refused to let JBL get away with bullying someone out of the company again, with loud "Fire Bradshaw" chants echoing through arenas during SmackDown live tapings. The story thankfully has a happy ending, as Ranallo has since returned, though now in NXT, where he appears to be much happier. And as for Bradshaw, while he was taken away from the commentary desk, the company spun this as JBL leaving to focus on charity work, helping to maintain the Texans' image while sweeping countless examples of bullying under the rug. Well guys, that's our list. Can you think of any other WWE stars who were bullied out of the company? Drop us a comment below and let us know. If you like this video, don't forget to check out our previous video, 14 Shocking Revelations from WWE Wrestlers' Autobiographies. Also check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. If you indeed did like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.